Hey guys, MCUcollector here with another review, and this one is going to be this one's kind of a bit of a throwback, but really what it is for me to see how some ToyBiz figures are. So if you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know that I am just not a fan of ToyBiz Marvel Legends, just for whatever reason. They're older. I don't think they've held up over the years. Some of them have great sculpts and look pretty good. Paint is great on most of them. It just depends on kind of the preference. I like the more clean look of the Hasbro figures as opposed to the washes and everything that they used on those ToyBiz figures. But for the most part, I just think the proportions look a little off. There's articulation for the sake of articulation, which I don't like articulated fingers, although it seems to work out really well here with m.o.d.o.k. So that's just kind of my thing. The biggest thing about the ToyBiz thing is because I made a rule for myself in collecting so it just doesn't get out of hand. No ToyBiz figures. Stick to Hasbro only, because then that keeps my collection kind of grounded and not like crazy getting all these older figures and things like that. Did ToyBiz do some great things? Yes, their Build-A-Figures are for the most part amazing. I always said that if I were to ever break my rule, m.o.d.o.k would be one and m.o.d.o.k would be the other one. So there you have it. And fun fact, actually, at Toy Fair at the Jazzwares booth, I actually spoke to the guy that actually designed and engineered some of the Build-A-Figures for ToyBiz. He's now working on the Halo line. So when I was talking to him, he noticed my shirt and I was wearing a Marvel Legends shirt. So he had talked to me about it, and I had gone into it. I said, "Oh, I don't like ToyBiz. I don't like ToyBiz." And I said, "Well, there's two figures I would always get. It was m.o.d.o.k and m.o.d.o.k." And then he was like, "Well, you know what? Funny story. I actually worked for ToyBiz and was part of the team, and those are the two Build-A-Figures that he worked on." So I was like, whew! That conversation could have been all bad if I would have been like, ToyBiz is trash, right? So it was just kind of an interesting story. But here, my good buddy Derek, PlasticSoulCollector, link in the video description below, to his Instagram and to his YouTube channel. We need to get him to actually do some stuff. He did one vlog video at his time at Toy Fair. So link in the video description below. But he let me borrow his m.o.d.o.k Build-A-Figure. He told me I had to take extra special care of it. He put it in this like weird bubble wrap tube things to make sure it's well protected. So I'm going to review it for you guys and just give you my thoughts on what I think of it as a ToyBiz hater, what I think of a ToyBiz figure. So let's get in close and take a look at m.o.d.o.k. Okay, so here's a close look at the m.o.d.o.k Build-A-Figure, and you know what? It looks really good. It really does. But I've always said it looked really good. So even as a ToyBiz hater, that's probably not fair, because I've really always admired the Build-A-Figure, even though it's not necessarily something that I would try and put in my collection. I'm hopeful Hasbro will actually do a m.o.d.o.k, and I'm thinking because there is an Avengers Gamerverse Wave 2, maybe m.o.d.o.k will be the Build-A-Figure, since he seems to be the big bad guy of the video game. Now, we don't have 100% confirmation that he's the big bad. We definitely know he's in it because he was teased in that latest trailer, or maybe not the latest trailer. Hawkeye's now the latest trailer, but m.o.d.o.k's going to be in it. I'm thinking he's going to be the Build-A-Figure. I have absolutely no idea, but I'm hopeful. But looking at him, he looks really good. So I understand the paint and everything that goes into the face sculpt of it, and how everyone says, oh, their paint is far superior and Hasbro will never touch it. Yeah, maybe. Okay. I'm not going to disagree. I'm not going to agree. We'll kind of leave it at that. And I think, Hasbro does good paint job a lot of the times, not always. But it looks like ToyBiz, maybe they did good paint job all the time. I don't know. I don't have the full history and seen all the figures to really know that for sure, but I would definitely question it. But man, you know what? It just looks really good. You get the wash and everything over the skin tone. The teeth are painted really nice. The gums, the space in between the teeth. Yeah, ToyBiz did a great job with that. They really, really did. I even wanted to say Hasbro right now. That's how much of a problem I actually have. So spinning this guy around. Now, I don't know if it's a wash that's kind of in this portion of m.o.d.o.k, but it looks like it's maybe just part of the plastic. Actually, these kind of look like two different shades of gold there. But looking at the paint, there's some things going on. I don't know if that's a chip. Derek, I promise you, that was not me right there. So yeah, that looks pretty good. There really isn't any more paint that much more paint kind of going on in terms of a wash or anything like that. The hair kind of has a couple of different colors in it, which is nice. Looks like a dark brown color with some lighter brown shading going on in there. So that actually looks really good. The sculpt of it looks really nice as well. So kudos to ToyBiz for that. Now let's take a look at his base. Okay, so looking at that bottom base, and that actually looks really good. It's kind of that blast effect because he's in a hovering chair type of thing, so that just looks really good. So it's done in a red semi-translucent plastic, I would say. But it's like a dark red, and then you actually get some orange shading in there to give it that flame effect, which is really nice. And then on the outside here, it goes into a white wash over the whole, over a lot of it to represent the smoke that would be coming from it. So that is really good. You know, I just reviewed like the War Machine and how they did the smoke effect on those blast off effects. They use a very dark gray. So this uses a lighter, a very light gray, almost a white color, to kind of give that same effect. And I think they both work out really well. If they use a darker color, I'm sure it would kind of drown out and wouldn't really give it that effect that they were going for. But that does look really nice. And then you could see that the blast effect, the hover chair, is actually able to spin right on that base. And you see the sculpt of this chair. The sculpt of it does look really, really nice. So look at that. I guess we'll take a look at his articulation, which is obviously limited, but based on the figure design and character design, what else could you have done, right? Okay, so articulation. So obviously he spins. Not really anything else going on there. These arms, let me undo that. So you have this handle here which can spin. Looks like you get a full rotation going on in there. These arms, you can do a full rotation in there as well. And then there is like an upper bicep swivel in there. There's also a, I'm actually looking at it, there's a hinge actually in that arm, but you can, so okay, so you can hinge this arm down, up and down a little bit. I was going to say, what was the point of that? All right, there is an upper bicep swivel on there as well. You get a double jointed elbow, which gives you that much bend at the elbow. And then you have the famous ToyBiz articulated finger. So each finger is articulated. And on this figure, it's not, it doesn't look bad. The hand doesn't look too big or anything like that. That's a kind of always my thing on articulated fingers. On the smaller figures, when you have the articulated, the smaller figures and the articulated fingers, I think the hand just looks big and just doesn't really look good. But on this Build-A-Figure, I think it actually works well because it's a little bit larger than you would see on other figures, so I can't complain with it. There is no swivel in the wrist or anything like that. The legs have a upper thigh cut. Looks like there's a hinge in there, but you're not going to get any use out of the hinge that's in there on the leg, which is kind of odd. You get a double jointed knee, which gives you about that much bend, as you could see there. There is no boot swivel or anything like that. Foot hinges down a little bit, hinges up as well. Surprisingly, no toe articulation. ToyBiz was kind of big for that. And there's a tiny bit of pivot. You know, ToyBiz I don't think really did that, or some of the pivot that they did was kind of odd because it had like a full hinge to do it instead of a rocker. So just kind of weird things. So I'll concede, you know, articulation wise, he's pretty good for the character design. The paint is fantastic on this guy. The design, the sculpt, everything of it is really good. So I'll concede and say, yes, this is a great figure by ToyBiz, not by Hasbro. Could Hasbro top it? I honestly think that would be very difficult for Hasbro to do. But, you know, whatever they do, I'm sure will be good in its own right. How well it stands up to this, I think, would be definitely something that's going to be difficult. But most people at this point, I think, won't have this Build-A-Figure, so it'll be the only one that they have. So I'm sure Hasbro is aware of that and would actually give us a good figure. But ToyBiz already did a great figure. Okay, so to close out this video, I concede ToyBiz did make some really good figures. I know their Build-A-Figures are all fantastic. The Sentinel looked really good. Giant Man would be one that anyone would want. I mean, if I had the opportunity to get it at a great price, something that I couldn't pass up, I probably would definitely get it. But for me, it's an easy pass for right now. But, you know, this one, if I ever saw this for a good price, I'd probably buy it. Same with Mojo. So yes, ToyBiz, awesome figure. Now, the surprise, if you guys have stuck with me up until this point. So you can see I have a lot of AIM soldiers because the mechanized organism designed only for killing m.o.d.o.k is part of AIM. So the Hasbro Pulse exclusive troop builder, the AIM Trooper, is been shipped out to a lot of folks now. I believe it's in stock right now. I'll also include a link in the video description below for that. But I have 2 of these on the way. I had already gotten one from Doming Toys to review for you guys, so I would now have 3. I only want 1 to open, which is somewhere in here. I can't remember which one it is at this moment. And then I'll keep 1 in box. So I'm going to have an extra one. So as part of a thank you for me reaching 20,000 subscribers and 28,000 followers on Instagram, I'm going to give away one of those AIM Troopers. Now, I have not received it yet. Should be arriving by FedEx on Monday or Tuesday, but FedEx really sucks right now, so it's probably going to be a little bit longer. So at some point next week, I will have one of these to give away. So it's going to be simple. Simply comment down below what your favorite ToyBiz figure is. So comment your favorite ToyBiz figure, and I will randomly select 1 comment to win this AIM Trooper. Then whoever the winner is, you contact me, and I will get this shipped out to you next week when I get it. So let's say the contest or the giveaway, let's say it'll end Wednesday, August 5th. So by Wednesday, August 5th, comment down below your favorite ToyBiz figure for a chance to win an AIM Trooper by Hasbro Pulse. So there it is. If you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you'd like to see me do more ToyBiz reviews for a ToyBiz hater, let me know. Maybe I can get my hands on a couple of them from some buddies and go over some things and talk to them about you guys. But that's it. Thank you for watching.